All right, let's dive right into this explainer and explore the unbelievably diverse world of ocean invertebrates. We're talking about those fascinating creatures completely lacking backbones. You know, when you look at the ocean, it's so easy to focus on the big fish or the marine mammals, but the invertebrate world is where things get truly wild. Down in the depths, and even right up close to the shores, you have animals that absolutely defy our expectations of what an animal should even look like. Some of them look exactly like gently swaying plants, while others resemble huge armored insects. Still others sport incredibly thick, beautiful shells, or are covered head to toe in sharp defensive spines. It is literally an alien landscape right here on Earth, and today, we're going to make sense of it.
100,000. Now, what's really interesting about this massive number is that it represents the species count of the ocean's largest group of animals, the mollusks. Just take a second to wrap your head around that. Out of the millions of invertebrates in the ocean, mollusks make up this staggering portion of the population. They're a wildly successful group of animals that have managed to proliferate all across the globe, and they are the main focus of our journey today.
Section 1. Meet the spineless wonders, the massive world of mollusks.
Let's lay down the baseline rules for exactly what it takes to be considered a mollusk. The absolute crucial point here is that while these are soft-bodied creatures without a backbone, which is literally the definition of an invertebrate, they all share a few unique unifying traits. The big one, the mantle. This special skin-like covering found on all mollusks isn't just regular skin. It holds specialized tentacles that help the mollusks sense its surroundings. It's how they navigate, find food, and dodge danger in their environment.
Beyond that mantle, mollusks share a few other key characteristics. They usually have a hard protective outer shell. Think of it as a vital, impenetrable shield against any kind of attack from predators. But here's the catch. To stay alive, a mollusk absolutely must keep its body moist. And as long as they manage that hydration, they aren't just stuck in the ocean depths. They've essentially conquered almost every aquatic habitat on Earth, from the deep seas to freshwater lakes and rivers, and have even successfully adapted to life on solid land.
This brilliantly illustrates their supreme adaptability. Look at how they handle something as fundamental as breathing, based on where they live. If you're a water-dwelling mollusk, you breathe through gills, extracting oxygen directly from the water around you. But if you're a land-dwelling mollusk, you've developed entirely different mechanics, breathing through specialized, lung-like body parts. Whether they're completely submerged or slowly moving across dry, moist ground, they've evolved to thrive absolutely everywhere.
Section 2. The snail's pace. Life inside a mobile fortress.
Let's zoom in on our first specific character in this giant family reunion, the slow, heavily armored, and very familiar snail. Snails are arguably some of the most common types of mollusks out there. And yeah, famously, they're some of the slowest creatures on Earth. But imagine having to carry your entire house on your back everywhere you go. These mollusks use their distinct tube or cone-shaped shells for absolute protection. The shell is quite literally their home, and they can retreat entirely underneath it when threatened. Some varieties even take it a step further by having a tiny lid-like door to completely seal themselves inside their fortress. To navigate their world at this slow pace, they rely heavily on those tentacles. Some have eyes right at the base of the tentacles, while others are totally blind and literally just feel their way around their environment. Because snails live in both water and on land, their diets are completely tailored to their specific environment. Basically, they act as the ultimate ecological cleanup crew. Underwater snails are busy munching on aquatic plants, seaweed, and even scavenging dead animals. Meanwhile, their land-based cousins are focused on consuming decaying terrestrial plants, returning all those vital nutrients right back into the soil.
Now, as fascinating and successful as the slow-moving snail is, we've got to ask a thrilling question that completely flips the pace of our explainer today. What happens if a mollusk completely trades its protective shell for pure speed?
Section 3. Fast, smart, and shellless. The cephalopod revolution.
So now we execute a hard pivot away from the slow-moving grazers to the absolute speed demons of the invertebrate world, the large, shell-less octopuses and squids. Stripped of their heavy, chalky armor, these fascinating cousins are built entirely for speed and intelligence. Honestly, it makes them totally unmatched within the mollusk family. They've traded the passive defense of a shell for active, highly intelligent problem-solving and rapid movement. They're big, they're incredibly clever, and they navigate the oceans in a completely different way than a snail ever could.
Squids and octopuses offer a picture of two very different, but equally incredible survival strategies. Squids are essentially organic torpedoes.
Their bodies are narrow and curved, designed specifically for rapid swimming as they dart throughout the open sea. On the exact opposite end of the spectrum, you have the octopus. With its dome-shaped body and 8 highly coordinated arms, it is an absolute master of camouflage and stealth, preferring to slink and crawl across rocks along the ocean floor rather than swim in the open water.
But make no mistake, despite their different terrains and methods of movement, both the squid and the octopus are formidable, highly skilled predators. They've evolved exceptional, highly complex eyesight. This excellent vision allows them to scan their environments, track movement, and easily hunt down and catch fish or even other invertebrates. They really are the apex predators of the mollusk world.
Section 4. Mind-blowing aquatic facts. The extremes of the mollusk world.
Let's wrap up this explainer by looking at the absolute extremes of this family with some facts that honestly sound like they belong in a wild, big-budget sci-fi movie rather than a biology lesson. First up, let's talk about the deep sea. Imagine staring into the freezing depths of the ocean and seeing a giant or colossal squid looking right back at you. These specific varieties of squid possess the largest eyes of literally any animal on Earth. We're talking eyes as big as standard dinner plates. That massive size allows them to capture whatever tiny amounts of light exist in the extreme deep, helping them spot prey and avoid predators in near-total darkness.
18 meters. And it's not just their eyes that are massive. The giant and colossal varieties of squids can grow to an unbelievable 18 meters long. To put that into perspective, that's nearly 60 feet of highly intelligent, incredibly fast muscle and tentacles, towering over almost everything else living in the ocean. It's a prime example of deep-sea gigantism, and frankly, it is magnificent.
Now, not to be outdone by their massive squid cousins, octopuses possess an incredible superpower of their own. If an octopus finds itself in a dangerous scrap with a predator and actually loses an arm, it doesn't mean game over. It has the regenerative ability to simply grow that arm right back. It's an incredible biological feat of survival that ensures a temporary injury doesn't become a permanent fatal handicap.
And let's not forget the shelled members of the family we met earlier, like our friend the snail. Their bodies might be small and soft, but their homes are dynamic marvels of engineering. Their shells are made from a chalk-like mineral, and incredibly, these biological fortresses literally never stop growing. For as long as the mollusk lives, it continues to build and expand its shell, constantly reinforcing its protection against a dangerous world.
So, since the mollusks alone offer us creatures with giant dinner plate eyes, regenerative arms, and lifelong growing armor, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to take away today. With millions of other spineless creatures thriving out there in the vast, unexplored ocean, what other bizarre, unbelievable superpowers are just waiting in the deep to be discovered? Thanks for learning with me on this explainer today. Keep exploring, and I'll see you on the next one.